Today, we're going to talk about a powerhouse methodology called Lean Six Sigma. It's totally transforming how businesses work, from the biggest Fortune 500 companies right down to your local hospital. And it all starts with one simple question: where is the waste? So let's think about this for a second. You know those flawed products you have to return? Or those ridiculously long waits at the hospital? What about all that untapped potential in the workplace? What do all these things have in common? Well, they're all just symptoms of broken processes. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll shine a light on the hidden enemy, waste. Then, we'll meet the hero of our story, Lean Six Sigma. We'll look at the incredible proof in the numbers, see how it's used way beyond the factory floor, and finally, we'll talk about why it's really all about people. Okay, first things first. Let's really get to know the villain of this piece. The number one problem that Lean Six Sigma was designed to crush: waste. And when we say waste, we're not just talking about what goes in the trash can. Nope. In this world, waste is anything that sucks up resources, time, materials, effort, but doesn't add a single drop of value for the customer. Think about it. It's all those pointless extra steps in a process. It's defects that mean you have to do the work all over again. It's even the wasted potential of employees who aren't engaged. It's this sort of hidden enemy quietly draining the life out of an organization. So, how do you fight back against this invisible thief of efficiency? Well, this is where our hero steps in: Lean Six Sigma. You can kind of think of it like a superhero team. First, you've got Lean. Lean is all about speed and efficiency. Its whole job is to hunt down and eliminate waste, making everything flow super fast and super smooth. Then you've got its partner, Six Sigma. This one's the quality guru. Its mission is to stamp out defects and inconsistencies, making sure that whatever you're producing is as close to perfect as possible every single time. So you bring these two together and bam, you've got Lean Six Sigma. It's this powerful combination that attacks problems from both sides. You're not just making things faster, you're making them better. And that's the real magic here. You're not just getting stuff done quickly, you're getting it done right the first time. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, right? But does this stuff actually work in the real world? Well, let's get to the really good part. Let's look at the proof. The numbers don't lie. Check this out. In just one project, the cost of poor quality was cut by 66%. Just think about that. 2/3 of all the money being thrown away on mistakes, just gone. Or what about this one? A 99.97% drop in defective parts. I mean, we are talking about going from a system riddled with errors to one that's practically perfect. That's not just an improvement, that's a revolution. And of course, that hits the bottom line hard. We're talking over $200,000 in savings every single year from one project, all by just stopping the need to do things over and over again. Can you imagine a process where you're only getting it right about 60% of the time? Now picture flipping a switch and getting it right almost 100% of the time on the first try. That is a mind-blowing jump in efficiency. And to top it all off, how about this? Cutting out 60% of the time people were spending on tasks that added zero value. Just think of what that frees people up to do: to innovate, to focus on what actually matters. See, these aren't just small tweaks. These numbers show a complete transformation. But here's something you really need to get. This is not just for factories making widgets. The principles of Lean Six Sigma are pretty much universal. Let's take a look at just how far its reach goes. And honestly, its impact is everywhere. I mean, in healthcare, it's being used to cut down those awful wait times and literally improve patient care. In public administration, it's making government services better and faster. It's in higher education, in tourism, logistics, even in food manufacturing to make our food safer and better. It's like a Swiss Army knife for improvement. You can apply this toolkit to almost any industry you can think of. And, like any great idea, Lean Six Sigma isn't just sitting still. It's constantly evolving, adapting to tackle the big challenges we're facing today. So, it all started with this intense focus on just making processes better. But then, it got smarter. It evolved into Green Lean Six Sigma, adding sustainability into the mix to cut down on environmental impact. And now we're at GLSS 4.0. And this is where it gets really, really cool. We're talking full-on futuristic. It's fusing with technologies like AI, the Internet of Things, and big data. So now, companies aren't just fixing problems, they're predicting and preventing them before they even start. But for all the talk about data and tools and futuristic tech, we've got to talk about the single most important ingredient for success. And believe me, it has nothing to do with a spreadsheet. Because here's the real secret sauce, right? Lean Six Sigma isn't just a toolbox you pull out when there's a problem. It's a culture. It's a mindset. The real power isn't in the fancy charts or the impressive stats. It's in building an entire organization from top to bottom that is absolutely obsessed with the idea of continuous improvement. And that kind of culture, it doesn't just happen. It has to be built intentionally. You need leaders who are 100% committed, who don't just talk the talk. You need to empower your employees, giving them the trust and the tools to find and solve problems on their own. It's all about communication, coaching, and having a clear vision. Because without that human element, without the people, even the most powerful tools in the world are just going to collect dust. When you boil it all down, Lean Six Sigma teaches us a profound lesson. Huge transformations are really just the results of a million tiny improvements. The tools are fantastic, but the real engine for change is a mindset. It's that voice in your head that's always asking, how can we make this just a little bit better? So I'll leave you with this question. What's one small piece of waste in your world, a clunky process at work, a repeated mistake, anything, that you could start improving today?